Whatever the occasion, effortless elegance is right this way. Because Hilton brings you new ways to stay courtesy of the Nomad London. And it doesn't stop at award-winning dining in a space draped in velvet and illuminated by vintage chandeliers. No, this day goes beyond with unparalleled personalized service and attentive hospitality. Oh, and did we mention the Nomad London can be booked using your Hilton Honors points at Hilton.com? Hilton, for the stay.
This episode is brought to you by Nespresso and Samra Origins by the Weekend Coffee Collection.
Introducing Samra Origins. My collaboration with Nespresso is a connection to my roots, to my mother, Samra. Coffee that hits the right notes. It transports you. Crafted with unique notes and bold, soaring flavors. Experience a taste that moves you. Nespresso and Samra Origins.
Discover more at Nespresso.com.
It's this time of the week that we like to say,
welcome to Eejits of the world!
with you,
Glenn Wool, and you.
Andrew Maxwell. And what an exceptional moment we find ourselves in.
I know.
On this couch.
Yeah.
Here, where are we, Mr. Glenn?
We've washed up in the shores of Arthur's Seat. We're at the foot. We're at Arthur's foot right now.
He's trying to say we're in Edinburgh.
Yeah.
We're in Edinburgh at the world's largest arts event.
That's right.
We're a couple of arts doing it ourselves.
We're two artistes.
We sure are.
Yeah.
And we are here, the Underbelly, in the Abattoir Bar.
The Underbelly Garden.
The Underbelly Garden in George Square. And what a lovely place it is to start the show.
Yeah.
And my God, I tell you what a cornucopia. While our eyes have been on the Fringe, the world has been getting stupid.
Yeah. It's almost like they knew we were here and they rose up. Maybe we can. Yeah, the mice, the cat's away, the mice will play.
Yes, play as stupid as we can.
Yeah, get all your dumb out, they're not looking.
Well, I kind of admire somebody that loots baked goods. that is swag that's going to last 20 minutes, fella.
Yeah, if he just ate it in there, I don't think they could have got him for looting.
No.
They could have, he could have gone, well, I tried to pay, but nobody was there.
But somebody burnt the till. Madness. Anyway, here we are in Edinburgh, which is none of that's going on here. What there is in the streets, instead of rioting in the streets, there is something, in many ways, actually much, much worse. Street performers.
Yeah. We could use some of those street thugs up here to take care of the street performance.
Actually, the biggest tantrum I've ever seen here at the Fringe. So there's the main road here in Edinburgh. It's called the Royal Mile.
Yeah.
And on the mile during the whole month of the Fringe, there's all the street performers kicking around. One time I saw a local Scottish guy get so angry that these street performers were in his way, but he was trying to get about his dreary life. He tried to sweep the legs out from underneath the still walker.
Good.
It was one of the best performances I've ever seen in 30 years at the Fringe. He was a skilled street performer, I have to say. It turns out, yeah, they train him for that.
That's the first thing you learn in stilt walking is how to jump over an angry Scottish leg.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do about a year on that before you're ever allowed to go out into the wild with it.
Never upset a man with a chainsaw.
No. Yeah.
Actually, full stop. Yeah, just don't.
Yeah.
That actually doesn't just go for still walkers. That's everything.
That was almost in the Canadian national anthem.
Second verse, buddy.
Yeah. I was here one time drinking in a pub, just like a quiet little pub. I was having a little quiet pint, reading the paper.
Yeah.
And one of those statue guys came in.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they paint themselves
Yes.
silver.
Yeah.
And he took his hat off, he had a silver top hat, and he put it down. So then he just, he wasn't silver. He didn't silver himself other than where the hat was, which I thought was unprofessional.
It was a bit lazy.
But he puts his hat down, so he's like man. He looked like a man that had been filled with silver to a point. And he orders straight whiskey, and he's befuddled, and he's verklempt. And I just went, hey, how's your day been? And he just went, weird.
You don't say. Yeah. Metal statue man. Right.
I got into the statue business for a quiet life. I'm standing amongst the pigeons for 12 hours. Expect a modicum of respectability of the general public. I don't know. It felt like he'd been chased.
Yeah, he'd been bothered. One of the best was years ago. There was a Brazilian dance troupe were here at the Fringe, and they would go and busk up on the Mile in the afternoon. And they were like 20, and they were like sort of topless dancers, right? They were all ripped, they're all fit as butcher's dogs. You know, and they were like doing sort of, a Brazilian salsa in time with each other in the street and whatnot. And this was years ago when they had, proper old school tramps still existed. And Edinburgh was one of the last places that had the old school trampy tramp.
I remember them.
Yeah, and there was one that there's a couple of them used to hang around on the Mile during the Fringe. They weren't begging, they weren't doing anything. They were just tramping around, like. Yeah. They weren't bothering anyone, but they loved the Cuban. They were Cubans. They loved this Cuban dance troupe so much that, say, the 20 of them would come dancing up the road. These 4 tramps would follow behind them like a second parade, like, yeah. I mean, it was like ding, 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 and be and it went on like I saw them every couple of days through the run, and you could see at the end of the run, like, it was. Scotland was starting to get to the Cubans. Like, you could see they were slowly losing their natural sense of rhythm. Like, you could see at the end of the month, they're like,
but the tramps were getting better. Like,
hey, you fucking booby, your fucking hips are like swiveling on Ross Deal, mate. Oh, Jesus Christ, mate, you got snake ups there, snake ups.
Well, in my venue, we have the South African dance troupe. Okay. So that's my changeover, and they're just like, you can't help but not be happy in their presence. Like, they're dancers, Yeah. Then they have that. They've just finished their show, and last night, because I've got to set up 2 mics. So I set up, the backstage mic, and I set the mic up on stage, and they're just sort of, it's sort of Muppet Showy-ish, like, right. Like it's the change-off backstage.
Yeah, sure.
And last night, they started doing a thing, because I had to do my sound check, but I was doing something, and they did my sound check for me. They started singing like an African spiritual. Right. Into the mic, like 2 of the girls started, and then a guy came over, and it was just like it was from the Lion King or something. And right. Then another guy got on the backstage mic and started rapping in click while they were singing an African spiritual song, and I was just looking at it going, this is way better than the show. Like, the mic, the sound check. Nothing is going to be as good as this. I'm just a 50-year-old whining about his life. I want to see this show. I
tell you that time, there's 2 years ago, I had because what happens in the Fringe is like every venue's used every hour, right? Yeah. So there's a quick turnout, next show in, and you get to know the show that's on just before you and just after you have a 5-minute chat with every day. Yeah. And a couple of years back, I had Basil Brush. Right, Basil Brush was my crossover show. Lovely, lovely man, the actual Mr. Brush.
What?
Right. Oh, you never get to. What's real class in the operation is you never see Basil backstage. He's not kicking it. He's not just slumped over.
He gets into a car and he leaves, Andrew.
A Rolls Royce.
Yeah.
He gets. It just gets into a Rolls Royce, boom boom. Anyway, so the staff, right, so it's mostly a family show, Mr.
Mostly.
But then I think it was like once a week he'd do like a dirty grown-up show. Basil Brush would do a blue show, right? And
where's he sticking his hand for that one?
You don't want to know. Actually, I think I'm dressed like Basil Brush. You know,
Trying to induce him. The puppet's here.
But so the venue staff were all like, in their early 20s, right? And he was, Mr. Brush I was sitting backstage, he was going, I'm a bit worried, like, don't know whether my blue stuff's going to be shocking anymore, it might be, all the rest of it. So he mentioned this to his venue staff for like a quarter of his age, and they just taught him all the filthy stuff that the kids are doing these days, right? And the next day I went, how did the blue show go? And he was like, oh, it's very good. Basil's now really into pegging. His very words were, Basil's now really into the pegging lark. The pegging lark. So great. It's like an Ealing comedy.
Pegging lark. Water slammer.
There's a poster There's a poster of Sir Alec Guinness with a top hat like that. Behind him, Hattie Jakes has got a massive strap on.
And what appears to be a young Eric Idle. Like, I guess, he must have been, hanging around the set.
Could have been. For fuck's sake. Anyway, shall we get to the Eejits of the week?
Sure, let's do it.
And what a cornucopia.
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. We were just having a quick technical check there.
Yeah.
Now then, Mr. Glenn, are you ready for a story?
Yep.
Jeez Louise. We've got a repeat customer.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody's come back.
Yeah. And you know what? I honestly thought...
It's like a burp.
Yes.
We thought we'd finished him. But, oh, he's repeating.
No, it turns out he's Rancherios. You're going to be burping it. This man's coming in for a three-peat here. He is now in the same ranks in Eejits of the World mythos as Silvio Berlusconi. Oh. This guy's actually pipped Mr. T.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This guy, because T's only been in 2 episodes. I cannot believe he's coming back, but there's no way I couldn't have put him in the show.
Well, if they're not dead, they've been on before, it makes you think, well, they're probably going to do something else stupid. So,
well, prepare yourself, because I speak of none other than fucking RFK Jr.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I hope
back.
nobody put any money on him not coming back. I hope none of you gamblers out there thought, no, he's righted the ship. He won't reappear on that podcast.
I really got my shit together. No more weird. I promised my campaign staff that it was going to be really normal from now on in. Wow. So, God, how do I even unpack this? This is mind-blowing. So, let's start off. He's doing an interview with Roseanne Barr, another friend of the show.
Yeah.
So, like, you've got proper Eejit squared there, like.
Yeah. That ain't right. No.
So you may, because this is the Fringe, you may just be able to hear in the background a show.
Yeah.
The dulcet tones of, I believe, some sort of bossa nova playing through. But that's how it is here at the Fringe. We'll just have to,
Oh, yeah.
It is what it is.
If it bothers you,
If the arts bother you.
Yeah. What's that say about you?
Well, there's
that's
people
not a
greeting
show.
each other warmly.
Yeah.
There's warm greetings of people.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway.
It's like Christmas time.
It is. It's like your local pub in Ireland just before Christmas. Now then.
Yeah.
So, RFK Jr. is being interviewed by Roseanne Barr.
I don't know what they're hoping to unpick by that.
or what demographic they're reaching out to. Are you on Valium? Have you ever woken up on a golf course?
Even the catatonic have tried to get to the radio at that point. Just turn it off.
So once again, as we know, what is truly what elevates RFK Jr. to a level of supremo Eejit is that he offers these things. These aren't scandals we discover about him.
Exactly.
He's bringing it to the table out of the blue. So he's in this.
You'd have to talk to me a long time before I admitted to a brainworm.
The brainworm would have to be quite active.
It would have to be wriggling out my mouth for me to.
Oh, don't worry about him either.
Yeah, no, that's just some spaghetti.
Yes, it winked at you.
Maybe you have a brainworm. Maybe that's why you see that.
So, he's been interviewed by Roseanne Barr. It was already a nutty situation.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, he brings up this story that one time he was out doing a bit of hunting with a falcon. Right? Okay. Not something people tend to do if they're not members of the Saudi Arabian elite. But sure, he's out there hunting with a falcon. Like I don't know.
Falcons eat worms.
I think maybe that quite possibly.
Keep that falcon away from your head, RFK.
Why does it keep circling around me? I said fly, Ozymandias, fly.
I wake up, this thing's just perched on my ear. Just looking with its good eye down my ear hole. I can't get it. I don't know what it wants.
I don't know either. So anyway, it just gets so nuts. So this is the story. He's sitting there in her kitchen, right? And he's standing here and he's just going, anyway, I was out there hunting with a falcon. And I saw a car in front of me hit and killed a bear cub. I don't know, what would you do if you saw... Because I accidentally exploded a pigeon on the motorway last week and I felt really sad about it. It just flew straight into my windscreen and pop.
Yeah, they do that.
Yeah, I didn't feel good about it. But
well, you weren't aiming for it.
Yeah, exactly. That is true. I wasn't aiming for it. But RFK Jr.'s response to seeing a bear cub get killed was, I'll have it. He said that he was going to take it and he was going to skin it and eat it.
For my royal hat. I've always wanted to be a Coldstream guard.
When you grow up in one of the richest, most powerful families in America, there's not a lot to be envious of. God, I always wanted to be one of those soldiers outside Buckingham Palace. Standing still, just
There's
letting the
actually
brain...
no rule about dressing up as them and standing beside them. They're not even allowed to look at you if you do it. I just go stand in front of them dressed exactly like them.
Tell them what I think.
It's called mirroring.
So, his first response to seeing a bear cub getting run over isn't well, actually, I don't know what the response is. I don't know what the appropriate response is.
You just keep driving.
I think probably keep driving. But no, he didn't do that. He pulled over. He went,
I'll get there and I'm going to skin it and I'm going to eat it.
Which, coming from a Canadian, I can tell you that is a horrible idea. Yeah, skin it if you want to, but do not eat a bear. It's you have to cook it till it's absolutely charcoal, or you get a brainworm. Like
that's where maybe that's where he got the fucking brainworm from.
Or his hat he made out of it. But they have really hard to kill parasites, and you don't eat bear. Like some people do, but you shouldn't.
You shouldn't. God, it's like, I guess because it's a carnivore as well. Maybe it's like eating a giant chubby dog.
It is. Yeah, it's akin to eating a dog, but even worse. It's
worse than a dog. Wow.
Which we're allowed to do in Canada.
Anyway, so he gets this bear cub into his car, right? And then he says that he had a scheduling issue, right? But now he had a dead bear in his car. So he thought this is Jesus. Like, I have been very drunk.
Is this not a Woody Allen bit?
Yeah, exactly. Well, it wouldn't be, because obviously RFK Jr. would have been welcome in all the country clubs. I reckon they probably built a country club around him just for his behaviour. Just pin him in. Just tell him it's Tell him it's the Hudson Valley Country Club. So he goes, he's now got a dead bear in his car. He finds out he's got a scheduling issue. He's got to get rid of the bear. So he decides the only rational thing to do would be dump it in Central Park in the middle of New York City. But obviously
That's where I hide all my roadkill.
But obviously he thought that would seem weird. So he decided to dump an old bicycle with the dead bear to make it look like the bear was killed by a cyclist. And then fucked off into the night.
Or perhaps was eaten by the bear.
Yeah, exactly.
The bear died.
Yeah. Wow. Like, it's just mind-blowing. So it was next day, it was all over the news. Like,
Yeah.
obviously, there's a fucking dead bear in a park right in the middle of New York.
Yeah.
This is the park where, the animals in Madagascar live. Right? You know what I mean? It's the middle of New York. Of course it's going to cause consternation. And it's not going to be made any less effing weird because there's a push bike with the body.
And it's, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it's such a...
Was the bear riding the bicycle?
Yeah, exactly. Was that it?
Yeah, I think too, because it's a young bear. You would think, oh my God, bears are breeding in there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
It's trying to find more space to live.
Yeah, exactly. Oh shit, there's going to be a really angry mama bear. We're asking all New York citizens at this time to close your windows and finish your porridge as quickly as you can.
Do not leave any access to any sized bed.
Once you feel like in any way your lifestyle's like a fairy tale, we want you to stay indoors for as long as you can, please.
See, I don't buy his story. I think there's way more to this.
There's a picture of him.
Oh no, I think it happened, but I think he's left out a lot of the story.
Exactly how he gets loans at such low interest rates.
No. Like I heard him telling it, and he's like, and then so this bear was in my van, and also this old bicycle that I just had in my van. You did have. Neither of those things. That's not how you got those things.
I honestly, considering our job is to make up fabulous stories for a living, I can't fucking work out how any of this shit happened. You got a dead baby bear and a broken bicycle in a car. You're in the middle of New York. What? If it had happened up in the Catskill Mountains, maybe.
But and to end the whole story with basically, vote for me.
Yeah.
So always choose a third candidate.
Oh, yeah.
Remember, when, Reagan was funny, and he would tell little funny stories.
Yeah,
they're still played to this day because they were, and it just shows you the degradation of humanity. Where now the guy with the brain worm is like, so I got a bear. Where'd you get a bear from? That's not important. I just got a bear.
I was out with a falcon.
That would be enough to keep you away from, even in the 80s, you couldn't have been a janitor at a school if you had a story like that, let alone the president.
No. It is astonishing. The world we now live in is such a ripe time for Eejits, because there's RFK. There's a man who genuinely makes Trump look normal. Right, that's astonishing. And that must really upset Donald Trump. The guy's crazy. No, he listens. He's a guy. I survived an assassination. I almost take a bullet. Very near my head. And next thing, the bear guy comes along.
I was a bear trying to assassinate me. It was all right because it was a baby bear. So.
Yeah, that's weird. Where did you get a baby bear from?
Well, Trump has been out. He's been on streaming services. There's a streamer called Aiden Ross, really big. I don't know. It's one of those dudes.
Yeah.
And Trump went on his live stream with him, and this guy Aiden Ross presented him with a cyber truck, you know, in these boxy Elon Musk cars. Tesla nonsense. He gave him a Cybertruck, but he got it all pimped out. He got the livery done, so that it looked. You know, the picture of Trump after he's punched in the air, he survived the assassination, and it's all around the truck. Like, it's so weird. Like, what?
Yeah. So that's the live streamer backing Trump. Then, must be.
I assume so. He's giving him a car.
See, because those guys they've got more sway than we think.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Just because we don't know who they are doesn't mean there's not 100 million people.
Yeah. Just because us plugged in 50-year-olds don't know who they are.
Yeah.
Eh? We don't know who you are, but clearly you're big enough that you can get a potential next president of the United States to just pop up on your L stream there and do something stupid.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Trump was apparently, he was doing he's gone in for now, he's the power spread.
Oh,
he was power spreading.
Yes, the conservatives here did that.
Yeah, the Tories.
Was so weird. They looked like the Avengers. All of them. They were standing on stage with their groins like they were gypsy acting, like Yul Brynner.
Yes. Just like fucking Yul Brynner. That's exactly what Theresa May was. It took me a long time to work that out, but you're bang on.
Yeah. It is.
The entire Conservative Party decided the best thing to do to win an election was act like Yul Brynner in The King and I.
It's called gypsy acting. It's cock first. It's on stage where you do get your dick, you lead with your dick,
which wasn't easy for Theresa.
No.
She gave it a go.
She had to do the pegging lark.
Oh, God. But there's another streamer called...
Another one?
It's the internet.
I know.
Oh, there's another one called Vitali. I think he's based in Florida. And he's one of these... he does these sort of, gotcha pedo jobs. Ha we caught you. You know what I mean? One of those ones where they pretend to be a kid and then the sad old nonce shows up in a car park in a Walmart and they're like, ta-da, right? And that's been going on for quite a while. It used to be on telly, wasn't it? There was in American telly. There was a show called Catch a Predator.
Yes.
So they've been at it for a long time, and then there's a lot of streamers now do it. But this guy's got one step further, and it's now he brings celebrity guests along. So you can imagine that, right? Obviously, we're not espousing sympathy for fucking nonsense, but your life is destroyed. You're definitely never going to be a geography teacher anymore, and next thing you've got Akon in your face. You got Akon. Seriously, there's Ryan Garcia, who's a boxer, Akon the singer, and French Montana.
Done in a pimp my ride sort of style. Or ride my pimp. Ride my pimp.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. It made me laugh. But I guess that's American politics for us.
There we go.
There you go. Well, RFK, Bobby J. We never thought you'd come back.
He'll be back.
Astonishing work. Astonishing work, fella.
He's not one of those guys with one story that he dines out on. He's slowly remembering the 80s and the 90s as the worm wriggles through his cerebellum. It's unlocking things that he...
Different decades.
Yeah, he's actually going to pull out of the race when the worm just turns and he remembers, I just remembered the 2000s. I'm not allowed to be president anymore.
I really should stop hunting bears.
Oh, man.
With a hawk.
Well, then.
Yes.
Well, good luck to you, RFK.
Finding a new job is stressful. But with Indeed, it doesn't have to be. Just fill out your Indeed profile with your skills, experience, and desired salary. The more you fill out, the better your matches will be. And hearing from hiring managers will be 2 times more likely. Relax. That's your Indeed profile sending opportunities your way. Indeed, the world can work better.
Do you have a story for me, Mr.
I do. Let me get this exactly. Yeah. This one comes from the great state of Colorado.
Colorado.
Oh, Colorado. And I don't know if you've ever had a bad day at work and you managed to get fined for... sometimes they have, the government even has some sort of fines in place going, you sort of screwed up. We're going to have to, we're not going to send you to jail, but we're going to fine you. A Colorado funeral home made such a hash of their duties, they've been fined $1 billion.
Like what? Like that's, what do they do?
Well... There's one job that you got to do when you're saying like, oh yeah, I can bury them. Yep.
That's when you hand over your dead relative to an undertaker's.
They might want them burnt, they might want them buried, but they want something done with them. It was the people, it was the Return to Nature funeral home.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a green funeral home experience.
An eco funeral home?
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I don't even know. Like, given the name, it's like, well, what else would you do? Like, it's Warren's Taxidermy Shop. Come on, get your ant stuff down at Warren's. Like, right, of course it's going to return to nature.
Yeah. So where, like, what were they offering if they were not cremation, not burial?
I imagine just no coffin, like, or a wicker coffin. But anyway, what they did was nothing, and they just didn't bury anybody, and they kept them in their little funeral home.
What? They just kept hoarding the dead.
They kept hoarding the dead and then closing the door really quick until the people of Colorado started smelling. If you're working, I could see like us not knowing how much 190 dead people are going to smell, but people in the funeral business would have known that.
Sure. Yeah, you'd imagine so.
Calls like, have you got any dead people? No.
Yeah, we're just inquiring as to why there's an enormous storm of flies over your house. Day and night. It seems to be forming into the shape of, I believe the technical term is, the Beelzebub. The Lord of the Flies is gathering over your property. Do you know why?
Yeah, and they just weren't burying them.
What do you mean? Like, where were they putting them?
Well, I mean, what I would have done is put them all in chairs and facing a little stage, and if any authorities came over, just went, "Oh, I'm a terrible comedian," and I mean, you look at the crowd, there's nothing there. I mean, it's tough work tonight, officer.
Stiff crowd, huh? And with that, the cop doffed his hat. You, sir, funny man.
Yeah.
Flicked some flies from his face and left in his patrol car. Funny guy.
I mean, like, because there's two of them, too. And I've seen a picture of them, and they do not look like they have $1 billion.
No. What are they, like a husband and wife job?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was guessing that way. It is nice when a couple have a thing together.
Yeah.
I don't think their thing should be hoarding the dead.
No, but like just not being able to figure it out. Like were they leaning on their shovels in their house going, we need 190 holes. What are we going to do? Beats me. Scratching his head with a bit of a spade. Like, I don't know. We need 190 holes. Like, you could have just dug one really big hole and put them all in and then mussed the dirt on 190. And no one would have said anything. They just want to know.
They would have. I think there's a point where people just want them buried.
Yeah.
I mean? Just like, I think people would even let you slide as long as you just...
Yeah.
Bury them a bit.
The only thing would be like maybe 300 years from now when archaeologists find it and go, there must have been a great battle here. Why so many 70 to 80-year-olds were involved in it? They put on their finest clothes and died in battle.
Fucking really harsh time. They had the 7-year-olds out fighting.
Yeah.
That's why it's called the Vanguard, because they all arrived in a van. They arrived in a minivan. Here they come. Charge! Slowly.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, this is over the top, and they're all slowly crawling up the little ladder.
Well, I just put in, that's astonishing. This is, I put in morgue scandal to try and find a story about morgue.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. You're free to Google that anyway.
Sadly. It turns out there's quite a lot of them. But this is the one that absolutely pips it. This is a couple of years back. There's Harvard Medical School's morgue.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. This is one of the elite medical schools in the entire world. And obviously there was a charity where people would donate their body parts to medical science and whatnot. Anyway, 400 body parts had been stolen and sold on the black market.
For ashtrays?
Exactly.
Coat hooks?
Just really gnarly goblets. I want a femur bong.
Yeah, probably.
Out there. Now and it turns out the guy who's in charge of Harvard's morgue is a man called Cedric Lodge. You've got to see this dude. Oh, got to get a picture of Cedric Lodge up on there. Look at the state of this dude.
Oh.
Yeah. He's got a top hat on, and he looks like a really ghoulish version of Slash from Guns N' Roses.
What year was he wearing a top hat?
Well, he started wearing the top. Well, he's been there. He was being employed by Harvard since 1995.
Uh-oh. Don't let the guy with the top hat work in the morgue. Whoever did that, we've got to the root of this.
Yeah, but it turns out it all came out because, as often happens away, an ex snitched out a former partner. There's another guy called Jeremy Pauly. Right, now have a look at this dude. Like, how can this guy not be screwed? He's implanted horns in his head. He's face tattooed one side of his face. He's tattooed his eyeball black, and his girlfriend split up with him and went back around to get something from the house and found there was just a lot of skulls, a lot of human skin, which was like being laid out like a rug on the back of a couch. There was a bag of human eyeballs. And it turns out he'd been buying all this stuff, and loads of other people had, off old Cedric Lodge. And nobody in Harvard knew. 4 deans of the university had no idea. For like 20 years this had been going on. And on top of it, this guy Cedric Lodge was driving around considering he's like the manager of a morgue, it's not a high rolling job. He had a top of the range bright orange Subaru with the reg plate Grim Reaper was his reg plate, and nobody went, oh God. It's always it's never the ones you suspect.
Yeah.
Like, what?
It's always in the most obvious place that you look that you finally find them.
It's astonishing to think there could possibly be a creepy guy in a mortgage.
Yeah.
In a morgue. I was going to say in a mortgage.
And did he get charged with anything?
Yes,
I don't know
yes.
if that's illegal, is it?
Yeah. Well, I think you're not allowed to sell them. I think it was, in the States, they actually get you through some weird technical. Was it wire fraud? Did you sell it across state lines? It's that shit.
Yeah.
It's not that you're like turning people into couch throws.
I think that's what they got the other morgue people on too. It was wire fraud. And I've just never known what wire fraud is. I assume it has something to do with the telegram.
Yeah.
Say, body parts coming down the county line. Not in my
Buford T. Justice, not in my way.
not in my bailiwick, joker.
I can't help but notice you got a bag of fingers there.
Personal use. I didn't buy them.
I ain't here to judge. But that's a lot of thumbs for one man.
How many thumbs you expect to go through this weekend? I hitchhike a lot, so I need thumbs.
Okay, boys, that checks out. Let's roll.
Guy's an avid hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Who's going to be able to deal with that without a bag of thumbs? Different sizes for different communities. You want a big thumb for the motorway? Maybe a small, less intimidating
Something
thumb.
that can be seen from a distance because the cars are driving faster.
Yeah, cars getting faster, thumbs ain't getting bigger. That's why I got a bag of thumbs. So weird. Yeah, he's driving around with a Subaru with Graham Orr as his license plate. Nobody. And honestly, he looks insanely creepy. He
Anybody who works in the morgue.
and gets around in a top hat. Should we move on to a slightly more upbeat story?
Yeah. How possibly could you get more upbeat than that?
Just not one, but there's literally all the shows so far has had death in it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But let us move on. The death of animals, the death of political careers.
It's a circle of life, Andrew.
It surely is. Well, Mr. Glenn, let us move to another friend of the show, Australia.
Oh, my.
Australia, you're back in the show, Oz.
Yeah.
Once again. This time, somebody has stolen. It turns out Australia has now decided the best way to move forward as a country is let Bluey make their own money. Now, for those who don't know, who don't have young children like myself and Mr. Glenn have, the greatest children's TV show of all time comes from Australia. It's called Bluey. And it's
I love that song because I know there's going to be peace for 20 minutes.
Oh, Bluey's so good. It's a world of dogs. It's an Australian world where everybody's a dog.
Yep.
And it's a very, very happy place.
Well, not in the sad episodes.
No, but the sad episodes are heartwarmingly sad. They're not sad. It's a good world, the world of Bluey. It does make you think, if the world was just all Australian and an all dog, it would be a better place. Did you know what the dad does for a living?
No.
What Bandit does?
No.
He's an archaeologist because he likes digging up bones. This guy,
yes.
Did you know what the mum does?
No, I don't watch it. I just know that it goes on.
Oh, you should watch it.
I keep an eye on it.
Oh, you should watch Bluey. The mum, she works in airport security.
Yes, that tracks.
They're the two jobs dogs can do. I don't know what the rest of the... Yeah, but it's very, very, very good. And so they're now minting Bluey $1 coins that are national, they're legal tender in Australia. But Bluey is, for any of you, I can't emphasize how big Bluey is. Bluey was streamed 20 billion minutes last year in America on Disney Plus alone. It is a global phenomenon. So they're now minting these coins that are legal tender in Australia. $1, they're called dollar books. They're legal tender. But before they've even come out, there's such a South Sea bubble tulip mania on them.
Oh, okay.
They're selling for $10. You have to spend 10 quid or 10 Aussie bucks to get one.
Like, why would you do that? If I don't have this coin, I won't remember Bluey. If you love it that much, you're never gonna forget Bluey. You don't need some totem.
Yeah, you're never gonna forget Bluey.
No.
It's such a good show.
I don't know. Buffett's pumping the prices on that. That's what
Warren Buffett. He's so great.
He's pumping the market, I'm telling you. You look into it.
He's so great. You know, Warren Buffett, in the world of finance, he used to call the sage of Omaha. Like, literally every other rich fuck in the world, because he's the richest fuck in the world.
Yeah.
They all just literally listen to him, and he sits there. He's in his 90s now, and he sits in a chair and tells them what to invest in, and all the other billionaires, like, it'd be so great if he's going, no, I've decided no more oil, no gas, no dollars, no US Treasury bonds. Bluey coins.
Did you get this idea after wearing RFK's bear hat?
Actually, I did.
He passed it to me. I mean, it wasn't on for long.
But Doesn't have to be.
Doesn't have to be. It's just as Jar of K's special type of magic works, weaves it stupid.
Slithering up his nose.
But basically, this how this came to news is somebody stole $400,000 worth of Bluey coins from a secured location.
He's just going to try and pass those?
I'm just like buying
Down at the casino? I'm all in.
I've lost the house again.
Put it all on blue.
I mean, what could go wrong? All I did was entrust my financial future to a cartoon dog. Great.
Well, there was there's something sort of similar to that. There was a big theft in the NHL this year. And I know I talk about hockey too much for, a lot of people. But it's...
Please, tell us more about your slidey sport.
There was Jaromir Jagr, was one of the most famous hockey players ever. He's retired now.
Jaromir Jagr.
Jaromir Jagr.
Jaromir Jagr.
So the Pittsburgh Penguins they had this big. They were going to do Jaromir Jagr bobblehead night and give out 15,000 bobbleheads for one of the greatest players ever.
Right.
Somebody stole them.
What? So 50,000 bobbleheads.
Like a truck full of bobbleheads. Where were you going to shift 15,000 Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads? Got a restaurant? Here's the bill, sir. How many Jagr bobbleheads do you think would take care of that? 5? I'd say 5.
Would you guys like to always be guaranteed somebody will agree with you? You pop a Jaromir Jagr out there on your dashboard, you'll never be wrong.
He's one of the greatest players ever. Number 4 in scoring, and he agrees with you. So,
There's not a thing he'll say to you that he won't agree with you. Well, good. And is Jaromir Jagr still out there?
He's still alive, and actually, I think he's still playing in the 3rd Czech division. I think he owns the team. He's 55 now. He owns the team, and he sometimes plays for it.
Right.
But he's a bon vivant.
I see. And somewhere out there in the North Atlantic, there's a giant trash patch of bobbing Jaromir Jagr.
No, they got them back. Got them back.
Oh, that's a heartwarming tale.
Yeah.
Hey, where are they?
Somebody had them, but there's nothing you can do with 15,000 Jaromir Jagr bobbleheads. I think probably just were showed up at the police station.
So hard to fence. Maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, maybe it was involved in Fence of the Year, and whoever is able to do it, they get the title.
Fence of the Year. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we finally come to probably the most prestigious award of the night, which is, of course, Fence of the Year. Now, over the years, many people have tried to hawk stolen goods, move them across state lines, that sort of thing, through bars, particularly if they're the Irish. But it is not easy. This year, we have had a very competitive field. We have had bobbleheads, left-only shoes, and, of course, quick-drying chalk. 40,000 miles of quick-drying chalk. It was one of those trains going through Montana. We pulled it up. It had chalk on it. Not easy.
10,000 boxes of Special K with a bunch of screws and nuts in it. It was a mix-up down at the factory.
We try to tell them they were healthy screws.
Yeah. You process them through your system.
That's right. Yeah, you don't get fat because you get all lacerated
you can't
on the inside.
digest them. You can't.
Nobody's
They just
digesting
come out.
They just come straight back out of you.
But they fill you up. Oh my God, do they fill you up?
Man alive, I don't know how many bobbleheads I could eat. Fence of the Year. That's such a great title to go for.
Yeah.
Much better than actually being Thief of the Year.
Oh,
See, they see, they're always in the movies. It's always, you know what I mean? The cat burglar, the diamond thief. That's the easy part. Limbering under all those lasers. Easy. It's actually moving, hawking that stuff on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's always the final award of the Criminal Convention of the Year Awards.
Mm-hmm. That's the biggie.
That's the big one. I'll tell you what, it is very nice to do our very first ever Eejits of the World.
Remotely
From the world of the Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah.
Where are you performing, Mr. Glenn?
I am at the Counting House at 7 p.m. Get there early if you'd like a good seat.
Right.
And where are you performing, Andrew?
I'm at the Just the Tonic Nucleus at 5:40 every day. You can turn up whenever you like. All the seats are equally good. What the fuck? What furniture's in your venue? Like, is it space hoppers and rickety
You
kitchen
sit
chairs?
closer to the front if you get there early. That's what I'm saying.
That's
so
good,
if you
is
have
it?
poor eyesight, you get down there early.
Right.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Well, very good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, either join us in person here for the rest of the foreseeable future or whatever. I don't know whether this is coming through on the mic. It's very distracting. Whether you can hear this like tiny bursts of clown music.
I just wonder what's going on in there. What is it's like one of those organs. Yeah, they're all getting out of a car or something.
And not a normal car, and too many of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the joke.
Jeez. Oh, now I get it. Of course. I'm starting to think their shoes aren't their real shoes either.
No, they are. That's how they find them.
That's how you find them in the snow. When the clown's trying to escape in the winter months.
Quick, get in the car. They always get caught.
Cocoa noodles.
70 of them are trying to pile into the getaway car.
Sniglets, sit at the front, goddammit. Well, yes. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it has been a Pod People production.
Pod People production.
And follow us on all your social medias
Yeah.
and your medias that are social. We're under Eejits of the World.
Yep.
And we thank you for joining us. And next week we'll be back with more Eejits.
Bang, bang, bang.